If you are just dumping time and money and energy into reels and carousels and just still so focused on social media, but not realizing that your boat is leaky, and it doesn't matter how great your social is, if your boat is leaky and it's not being recommended on AI, I will be bold and I'll say abandon ship. And that's why I literally stopped doing that kind of marketing for people and jumped over to this because this is how important this is. This is episode 473 of Bella in Your Business. They're asking ChatGPT right here on their phones, as you know, and they're saying, who's the best pet sitter near me that can deal with a difficult dog or that can pill my cat? They're not just doing the basic pet sitting Scottsdale anymore. And they trust the answer that they get. Your website was built to impress humans a long time ago, but now there's more bots than humans. And today I'm really excited to bring Erika Godwin on because we met a long time ago and she was doing websites. And I was like, girl, you need to get a business going. She's been on back at episode 105, 106, 107, 110. And as you know, I do a lot of solo episodes. So the fact that I'm even like having Erika on today, sound all the alarms because I've been trying to get her on here. Erika, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you on. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I am great. Yeah, AI visibility is definitely keeping me busy and throwing a lot of curveballs that we're trying to work on to stay ahead of it for our clients. So it's crazy times.
It's amazing. Why don't we just start there right now? Like, why don't you give us a quick overview of how things have changed? It's 2026, and if our listeners are looking at their websites the same way they were even 2 years ago, it's outdated, right? And the function of a website is a little different. We were talking about that in the pre-interview. Why don't you explain that to the listeners?
Yeah, so the big thing is even like 6 months to a year ago, the big thing on your websites was optimizing for keywords. But the issue now is people aren't searching keywords, like Bella was just saying. So somebody a year ago would search dog walker near me, and people aren't searching that yet. They want those answers to their specific questions. So they're literally saying, they're talking to AI and they're saying like, hey, my dog is a golden retriever and it has diabetes and it needs this, this, and that. Who's a good fit? So it's going really, really specific, and you better answer those questions on your website or you're going to be left out. So that's the difference where, yeah, before you just needed to have dog walker and Scottsdale on your website. Now you need to talk about what do you administer, like medications, and do you walk when it's really hot out? Like literally, there's so many questions that you need to now add to your website. So it's completely changed. The fundamentals are there. So if you've been doing a really solid job on SEO, it's not much different. It's just more information and more details. So you're in a good position. But if you haven't kept your website up to date in a while, then you're the longer you wait, the more you're going to fall behind. And yeah, it's a very big content strategy, which is also where I could see Bella. I know she's kind of pivoting towards dealing with that big content strategy as well.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack there. So I want to first go over, like, I think when people think about websites, like you and I mean, I'm marketing, you're like the developer, for lack of a better word, right? Like, and I think when we think about our websites, we're like, oh yeah, I did it a while ago. I'm just going to stick my head in the sand because it's just so overwhelming. And I think it's overwhelming because, correct me if I'm wrong and add to this, to have a proper website, you need someone who knows development, which is all of that like coding, weird, hard understand stuff. You need a designer, someone who make it look pretty. You need someone to do the words. You need a strategy. You need, what else am I missing? Like there's so many things that go into a website and people think that they can just have AI do a website for them and it looks pretty to them and they're like, oh, yes. But why, what other steps are they missing there? Like, I want people to understand that just building a website isn't something that looks pretty to you, like a pretty brochure. There's so many more elements that go into it, which is why you help a lot of my clients.
So yeah, like nothing to hide. AI has made it easy for virtually anyone to build a website.
Yeah.
But that's where the but comes in. There is so, even what Bella mentioned, there's so much more. There's the schema markup on the back end, and there's a bunch of different types of schema that you may not have heard of that we can touch on later. But then there's also all the DNS setup and all of that to make sure that it's not just your website's working well. If you have landing pages and funnels and your email and all of that's all working properly and authenticated. So that's all, there's a lot of back end stuff. And if you don't understand kind of like how it works, AI is not going to do a good job for you. AI is only as good as the human behind it. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure you agree with me on that, Bella. So, I mean, there's so much more to, yes, you can just have a website, but you can also have just a dog walker.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, you can go hire someone that's doing it as a hobby. It's cheaper, it's easy, but that's the difference between that and someone like our listeners who have proper insurance and training and pet first aid CPR and yada, yada, yada. Like, there's a big difference there. So, yeah, that's kind of, there's a lot behind the websites, and also just throwing generic information out there is not helpful. So
without a strategy,
you need that strategy, and you need to use data to figure out what questions to ask, not just go to ChatGPT and say, what are some good questions? Like, there's ways where you can get actual data to find out what people are actually asking and build your content around that. So
preach it, woman. And I want to break it down for the listeners. So like, it's not just like overwhelming jargon. It's the difference. And you guys have seen this before, between someone writing an AI description or an AI Facebook post, or dare I say an AI sloppy flyer. And you're like, oh, that was AI. And you can tell that because you're just a regular human reading on your feed. But it's the same concept when it comes to your website. And I think that people throw websites up there or try to change things thinking that they feel the relief, because we're all burnt out. And we're like, yes, it looks good. But this episode is dedicated to giving you the knowledge so that you can't be, dare I say, ignorant, which means ignoring the information. Okay, I'm not calling you ignorant, but it's a strong word here. You can't ignore it anymore because we're giving you this information today. So, Erika, I want you to go a little bit deeper on what AI actually reads on a website. Are you saying that just because it looks pretty to my eyeballs doesn't mean that like ChatGPT, Google, Perplexity, Grok are all going to use it? And well, I put my prices on my website. But what do I need to, is it simple enough to just list my prices, or does that also need a schema? And what the heck is a schema? Break it down for us, girlfriend.
Alrighty. So, yeah. So if you think of it, before you needed a website and your marketing was to impress and gain trust with your clients, now you need to gain trust with AI.
Yes.
So the whole thing you need to think about is your website is that trust engine now. It's not like your flyer. It's literally your home base where you are building trust and credibility to not only your clients, but to AI, just to regular traditional Google search. Like, everything that you do needs to be built around that trust. So, and that's what AI is looking for. They're looking for those trust factors. And that could be, this is where your bio is really important. Having each owner should have their own page on their website, not just have it like stuck in with the rest of their employees. You need to have that page, and you need to literally put everything that gives you any sort of credibility on there and link back to those websites. So like, you were on a podcast, you were on the news, you spoke at a conference, you went to a conference, any certifications, training, education, like literally anything that gives you credibility needs to be on that page. So when you go and you're creating the content, you now have that like profile to back it up. So yes, anyone can go and say, hey, write me a blog on this topic and pretend I'm a professional pet sitter. Okay, great. Here's a blog, but you need to prove that you are credible to give that information, and using examples and like your experience and your training to back up what you're writing, because AI doesn't just want the same regurgitated information that everyone else is putting on their website. They want to see, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. They've been in the trenches. I trust them. And that's basically it. That's the mindset that you need going into your website to help AI get that information, that's where Schema comes in. And if you think of Schema, it's literally back-end code pulling the information from these pages and websites into machine readable content. So it's just easier for them to read it, essentially. They might come to your website if you don't have Schema and get that information, but you're just making it really easy for them and they're going to go easy. So that's a big thing. And then the other thing is the structure of your website. So just throwing up a sloppy website that looks pretty is not helpful because it's not that structure that makes it really easy to understand. Plus, that well-structured website also makes it really easy for your potential clients to find what they're looking for. So it goes both ways. And yes, you want to make sure you focus on your clients, but then you also want to make sure that the places where your clients are finding you can also understand it. That's having proper heading structure, title tags, meta descriptions, the proper page structure. Like I've seen so many websites with no service area page. So there's a lot of
element.
Right. There's a lot of elements that go into it. And this is why it's important that you can really have that proper structure so that everybody can find you. And another thing is like there's so much gold under the hood of your website. Raw server data is something that can really, really help you understand your website, and it's information that you cannot get from
Google. Analytics. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So for those of you that aren't aware of what it means, so raw server data, it's all so when it comes to AI, they give fingerprints when they cite you, but AI or Google Analytics doesn't get that information because they require JavaScript to be executed. So basically somebody clicks, okay, JavaScript's executed, it goes back in your Google Analytics. But if like ChatGPT is just citing you and they don't click, you can't get that information, but it's in your raw server data files. Mm-hmm. So that is where for our clients, we actually extract all that data and put it into a dashboard so our clients can see what kind of traffic they're getting from the citations and which pages and how often. So they can see what type of information is working and getting traffic. And then we also build off that where you can find out, okay, so if for certain topics, if you're not getting cited and your competitors are, who and why.
Yeah.
So that's that really gold information that, and there's a lot of builders out there, I won't say names, that they lock it, just it's under lock and key and you can't even access it.
Yeah.
So WordPress is something that usually gives full access to that, but there's a lot of builders out there that you can't get that information.
Yeah. I love this. So I want to take this to a higher level to the person who's out walking a dog right now, or maybe they're driving around or sitting in the kid pickup line and they're listening and they feel overwhelmed and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to know. My point of this entire podcast is to educate you. And as Erika was just saying, Google Analytics used to, in the olden days, I like to say, they used to be great. They used to be good enough. You could go there. A lot of people didn't, but you could go there and you could get 100% of the picture. Mm-hmm. The picture has changed. It's only showing you maybe 50% of the picture now because of those server logs are telling you the bots. Your website now has humans and bots that you need to accommodate for. And then going back to the website, like what you were saying, a personal story here, and I'm going to throw this in, and this is why like you and I have like really kind of tandemly worked together really well. Since 2018, I've been doing better marketing with Bella. And about 2 years ago, I decided to flip it on its head because I don't care about Instagram and Facebook anymore. I don't care about your graphics. I don't care about your social media. What I care about is the right content and schema and headers and signals for your site. And what that looks like is all of the reviews. And I've completely changed the marketing program because this is now what matters. This is all what we're talking about today. So I love that you brought up, the third-party sources and any conference that you've gone to. And a lot of people are sitting on gold themselves, but they're not accessible. They're not putting it on their website. They're still thinking of their website as a brochure, a static brochure that is never updated. And this is I always say, Erika, I want to know what you think about this. I say there's a difference between your website being like a tricycle in your driveway and you can ride around the block, and a yellow Lamborghini that you can drive everywhere and it goes vroom vroom and like and it gets the vision of people. Like, people look at you. Can you touch upon more about how people's just mindsets should shift about what their website is doing for them, and what worked before? I know you just upgraded all your templates too, and you added a bunch. Can you touch on that, just on the evolution of where we need to be focused and why it's not just so simple and easy anymore?
Yeah, so it's like it's really heavily focused on content and then the trust signals. So yeah, all of our designs have changed a bit. We've upgraded them because now what we're learning is that AI wants those trust signals up front. So when we may have like reviews down at the bottom of the website, well, now they need to be in the header. So you want them there, but you also want a little snippet in the hero that says like 100 plus 5-star reviews that clicks to your Google listing.
Yeah.
So like those are some little things. You want to have that trust factor where they see a picture of the owner and a pet, or like a human and the pet. You can take a good enough photo with your phone now that you can use instead of like stock. So that's really helpful. We've made some changes where we also want to make sure that we touch on like having those trust factors in there. So it's not like you scroll down and find out they're insured and they have pets first aid and there used to be a vet tech and all that. Like, we want to make sure all of that most important information is at the top because that's what's found first. And sometimes we don't know, maybe AI won't even scroll. They just will look at that section. So having it all there and then everything else kind of backs it up. And that's how we've changed a little bit there. Some other things is making sure that you have it super clear on what your process is to manage expectations of clients. So when someone's looking at your site, they see step 1 is book a meet and greet. Step 2, create an account. Step 3, book. Like, having that super easy flow, that's also a way for you to stand out to any of the apps, just showing, yeah, you know what, we're super quick and easy too. Like, it's so there's things like that. And then the big thing that's changed is breaking out the owner from having to have their own page. I mean, we started doing that a little while ago, but now it's even more important. And then the other big things like all around content is where a couple years ago, just having one services page and one location page was fine. Now we need to like break it down and build it out. So instead of just having your services page, you need a page for dog walking, a page for pet sitting, a page for overnights. And then that needs to be like content rich detail. So what you were just talking about, adding your pricing. So yeah, just having your pricing is not enough because I don't know, like I'm coming to your site. I don't know what one I need. So
Right.
like you have a 30, a 60, and 90-minute walk. Okay, so what do they include? And who, if I have a dog, how do I know which one? You talk about, okay, so this is what each one includes. This is who it's good for. Then when people are asking, oh, you asked a question at ChatGPT, this is saying this is who it's good for. Oh, well, this is what you need. Like, it says it on your website. So having an FAQ on each of those pages. So you have your general FAQ page, but then you have a dog walking FAQ page with the schema specific to dog walking. And you're asking those questions that people are asking Chat and AI, so that you're just building this really like solid resource.
Spider
Yeah,
web.
it's
So
all.
also talk about, if we have dog walking in Scottsdale, but what if we also do Fountain Hills and Phoenix and Anthem, right?
Mhm.
So now we need all of those too. And
Yeah.
I call it like hub and spoke pages. So when I build this content for people, we build these hubs and we build a spider web, because a blog post by itself isn't going to do anything for you. I mean, it will do something for you, right? But like having it interlinking and interconnecting on your website so it all links together and it's not just hanging out on its own. It's the whole strategy that will really help. I had one of our mutual clients, and she doesn't mind if I shout her out, Becky from Pause Around Motown. Within 1 month, we built out Bloomfield Hills dog walking for her, and she already jumped in ranks on all of the search engines. Like we just gave her report yesterday. It was so exciting to see. But it was, but she has a website with you, Erika, and before she was doing it on her own. And it's because she has that support structure that allows all of the hard work and the strategy of building out this stuff to actually work, right?
Yeah.
And so it takes a village. It's your website is not just a brochure. I want to kind of transition into predictions here. I predict, and I'm not gonna. I'll let you predict first. What do you think is going to happen? When do you think, the behavior is changing so much with AI in business and how we integrate it personally and in business? What do you think is going to happen with business owners? When do you think that they're going to realize just how big of a shift this is with Google and with their website being a tool for them to get in front of clients? Is it going to take them realizing that all of a sudden they just start dipping and they start freaking out and wondering what's going on because they don't have the full information? Is it because their client list is going to start going down, or their signups are going to start going down because they're not showing up in citations? Like, what do you see this causing? Like, predict the future for me.
Oh man, it's moving so fast. Honestly, I think people are seeing it now. I have clients who they tried the AI website and it just wasn't working. And then they're like, oh, okay, I made a mistake. I need help. But I see a lot of people coming to me. It's like, yeah, we're not getting the traffic anymore. So I don't think, that's happening now. Yes, I know we didn't talk about citations quickly. It's really important to get listed in directories that could be like, for if you're Canadian, any Canadian listeners, there's Canadian pet care professionals. There's like any of the national associations. There's like even Fear Free Certified. They have directories, and some of the like training certifications have directories. Like those are really important. AI loves directories because it's vetted information.
Also getting on the news and stuff. Like I've gotten two clients on the news and print in this week alone. In the mastermind, I teach how to do that and give a whole playbook. It's actually a lot easier, and it's easier because of AI, but to get yourself out there because you don't have to do it yourself anymore. And all of these signals help so much because it's not just you saying you're great. It's other people
exactly. And that's that trust that everything needs to match with your website too.
Yeah.
So like, you're in these directories. You better make sure the information is exactly the same everywhere because AI is going to cross-reference and cross-check. Like this is what you say in your website. Okay, I'm going to go check Google and I'm going to check the news site that you were mentioned in to make sure it all aligns.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let's do the positive side of this. So like I love that you're seeing this because you're on the front lines. I predict, because I feel like sometimes I'm just yelling into this echo chamber. I think that it's going to be like by first quarter next year that like everyone will be like, oh shoot, like, my holiday season wasn't as good as it was before. And then you can have other people that are like, oh my God, I'm doing so good because they actually are doing the right content and they've overtaken, right? But because as I think the general population's behavior changes to talking to AI more than Googling something, right? It's the difference between going to Blockbuster and streaming from your bedroom in your pajamas to Netflix. Okay. Like when that shift really happens globally, I think everyone's going to be on it. So right now is a really cool time to get in on it. Right. How can someone know what their health is of their site? And what is the good news right now? If someone's listening and they're ready to take their head out of the sand. They're like, you know what? I really need a good look at my website. I need to find out what I'm lacking, what is possible. What do you suggest they do?
Okay. So one thing I'm going to backtrack before I get
Please
to that,
do. Yeah,
just to add to what you said. What I think is going to happen is those that are taking it now and getting AI to trust them now are going to be way ahead of everyone else because
Compounded.
well, I think it's because like, so if you think of a person, you work with someone and you really, really gain to trust them. If someone else comes in, well, okay, well, why would I trust you? I already trust them.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen with AI is these companies that are really working on building the trust and credibility and gaining this like rapport.
Mm-hmm.
And now AI is citing them and this and that. When new people come in, it's kind of like, okay, well, prove you're better than this person that I already trust.
Right. That's
So
a good.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with AI, but that's just from what I'm seeing, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Just like when you have a client and they trust you, but then someone else comes in and they're cheaper. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, they're cheaper and whatever, but I trust you. I'm not going to bother going to cite anybody else. So I think right now is a good time to get in. And once people start really getting on like the bandwagon, it's going to be a lot tougher to break into AI. And right now is kind of the time to do it. So yeah,
that's exciting. That's exciting.
That's what
like
I'm
everyone
thinking.
listening, I want you to see like this is exciting. This is something you really should dedicate to learning the next couple of months so that you can be the captain of the ship, hiring and steering the right people. If you are just dumping time and money and energy into reels and carousels and just still so focused on social media, but not realizing that your boat is leaky, and it doesn't matter how great your social is, if your boat is leaky and it's not being recommended on AI, I will be bold and I'll say abandon ship. And that's why I literally stopped doing that kind of marketing for people and jumped over to this because this is how important this is. And straight from Erika's mouth right now, like I love that. I love what you just said about, okay, you get in now and you're trusted. And now it's like, okay, well, why should I trust someone else? Keep feeding me, keep educating me, keep the beast fed, essentially. And if you don't have the right structure for the Lamborghini to drive around, it's going to break down around the corner. you know?
Exactly. And yeah, it's if you don't have a website, well, the first thing you want to do is
Get a
make
website.
sure you get a website. Google business reviews, focus on that. Get at least one a week, answer them. The big thing people do is with ChatGPT, they're going to go ask a question, then they're going to go verify it. So a lot of times they'll go check the Google reviews to make sure they align. So that's really, really important. Google has a tool that will show you schema markup, run your pages, make sure you have that. I know Bella also has an audit. What is that? Your audit program there. That
If you go to
visibility checker.
jumpconsulting.net/audit, we'll run a 12-page audit and like literally go to the to ChatGPT and Perplexity, and then also check the scheme. We'll give you a whole rundown of everything that like you need to look at and understand from SEO and AIO. And it's what gets the clients like the results that they have, you know? We do Google business updates too. What do you think about that? Like weekly, I'm always like hammering in guys like every single week. So when we deliver our packages, I give weekly updates that they can copy and paste. And then usually there's a link back to their blog on their site that we had just published that month for it. So it's feeding the beast, because I think this is like another little element, and it comes down to a workflow and knowing you're like, oh my gosh, there's all these things. There are all these things, but that's why you need a strategist, and you need the foundation, and you need the content, the right content, not how hot is too hot to walk my dog. Okay, great. In DC, you mean? And DC specific things? Yes, that's what I mean, you know? Oh, Erika, I could talk to you about this for all day long.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, literally. We're at 28 minutes. I could do this for 2 hours with you and just really chat. We're trying to fit a lot in here. How can people go and you put out really great content on your on both your profiles? You have the paw visibility. What was it?
Yeah, we have the AI visibility. That one is more focused on it's more hyper focused on like the AI visibility stuff.
I love that.
As we learn more,
all of that.
As we learn more about what AI is looking for, we post kind of tips there, what you can do, some kind of like bite-sized tips that are actionable.
Yeah.
And then the marketing Instagram and Facebook is more kind of just general. It could be AI specific. It could be like just website structure. It could kind of just a lot, and also keep up to date with what we're doing, because we have an AI visibility scanner built in. We have a question explorer built in that will help you understand. You put a question in and it will pull data saying, okay, so this is the question. These are some similar ones. This is how often it's being asked in AI and how often it's being cited in Google. Yeah. We have that. And then we have the bot monitor. So, I mean, a lot of this right now is just for our clients. We are working on building a tool that non-clients can access, but some of it we need server data, so we can't really work with non-marketing clients for the bot monitor. Yeah. But this is actual citation data, and it will give you the full picture. Between this and the Google Analytics combined, it'll show you the whole picture on how much you're getting cited from AI, how many are clicking through, and it'll give you that kind of whole idea, give you content and
invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. So how can people find you, Erika?
So you can find me at barketing.co, and
that's awesome. I highly recommend you guys go follow Erika if you haven't heard about her already. You really do a great job, and I really commend you for that, for pumping out really good information to educate people. I want everyone to, if you do want an audit from me, you can go to jumpconsulting.net/audit and just fill out that form to see where your website lays. And then if you want, we can get on a call and I can show you how to get out of it. Sometimes it ends up with go to Erika first and get your website up to par, because if I create content for you and your website isn't going to hold it, then that's a waste of your time and my time. And I'm very upfront about that. And last, I want to just leave you guys with AI is a tool. AI is not the actual end all be all. And I think that, you know, we're in this era of life right now where we're all just so burnt out and worked out that we are just so excited to get an answer. But you have to remember that you're still a human, and that AI is a tool, none other like your cell phone or the computer or, you know, whatever else you might use in your business. And you have to be surrounding yourself by people that are using AI as a strategic tool in every area of your business right now. Because whether you love it or hate it, it is here, and it's only going to get more. And the people that learn AI enough to delegate or make choices to build their business using the AI tool in the right way are going to be the ones that win. And the ones that keep their head in the sand, regardless of how you feel about it, are going to be outdone by the people that are your competitors doing it better than you. So you have a choice. And you have two great experts here, if I do say so myself. Erika, I've known her for 10 years. And I highly recommend, if you just think that, you know, you've been doing your site on Wix, or you've been trying to do it yourself, or you have a website person who you haven't talked to for 6 months and they haven't checked in with you, you really need to figure out where you're at right now, because this is the tipping point and it's going to start getting really real. And I encourage you to reach out. Go to barketing.co or jumpconsulting.net/audit. Erika, thank you so much for being here today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lots of fun. Okay. So much more we can talk about, but
oh my God, maybe we could have you back again and again. You guys, let us know what stood out to you on this one. And if you want me to have Erika back on and there's a specific topic we see, I'm putting Erika on the spot now, but I'll have her back on. I'll hound her until she says yes. All right, you guys, it's been another episode of Bella in Your Business. Remember, when life gets you down, always keep jumping. Bye now.